All right, everybody, how is it going? We are live right now, and I'm here today with a video to teach you guys how to do some basic product research for eBay dropshipping. So if you are new to eBay dropshipping, or if you've had experience in the past doing so, then hopefully this video will help you out. I am doing this video partially because I haven't done a video like this in a while. I believe the last time I did a video like this was in October. And also there is a big Zik Analytics deal that is going on right now that the owner of Zik Analytics, Nahar, informed me about. So I wanted to show how I use Zik Analytics to find products, profitable products to dropship on eBay, and how you guys can luck out on this deal because it is ending on Monday, I believe. And that deal is half off Zik Analytics if you buy the yearly plan. So if you look at the link down in the description, there is a half off link. If you click on it, I believe it will bring you to the website to get it for half off. So I think for 12 months of Zik Analytics is $150. And you will get $5 off if you sign up with my coupon code. And that is the best product research tool out there. I haven't used a single other product research tool. I've experimented with others since I've started over a year and a half ago, and I've stuck with Zik, and it's definitely the premier product for product research in the industry. So who's here right now? Doan's here. How's it going? We got Nick F says, what's up, Tom? Kareem says sup, and Lazy Abrams here. Jameson Social. We got the usuals here. If you're here, let me know who you are. Let me know where you're from and how your experience is going with eBay dropshipping, and if you've started manual eBay dropshipping yet, because let's be honest, eBay just came out with an announcement saying clear as day, and I just did it in my last video. I went over this, and their new spring seller update of 2019, they did literally admit that they are flagging accounts. They admitted it. They literally said lower search visibility for sellers that are participating in retail arbitrage. So if you are using software, and if you are using anything that is going to get you caught by the system, then you will get flagged. And if you have been seeing less sales recently, or a drop in promoted listing impressions, or anything of the like, then that is basically the biggest reason why. I can't think of any other reason why you are flagged, and you need to create a brand new store and go the manual dropshipping method. And in the way that I'm teaching the manual dropshipping method in 2019 is to use retailers like Walmart and Home Depot and other things out there that I'll be showing you in this video, but also to begin to move away from suppliers like them and move into the more wholesale region. And it's kind of an iffy situation as to what is wholesale. What does eBay consider it? They haven't really come out with it, but I hope that since they've started to become transparent with us, with that they are flagging accounts, hopefully they do go on to say what is a wholesaler and what you're allowed to and what you're not allowed to do. So I'm going to go off and mention who's here right now. Also, before we get into the actual the product research, which will happen in about 3, 4, 5 minutes, I do want to say that because there is this deal going on with Zik Analytics, we did have a deal going on for our course because there was an issue with our website, and some of the people that we offered it to couldn't get our deal. So we did start offering on different platforms at different points in times. But this is the last day to actually take advantage of our $200 off discount code for our course. So instead of $497, you will be paying $297. And the link's in the description below on how to run a profitable manual eBay dropshipping store in 2019 from point A to point B, from beginner, intermediate to advanced. Everything's in there. It's 67 videos long, and there's over 12 hours of content. So, I mean, everything's inside of that course, and we are pairing it with the Zik Analytics deal, so you can literally get everything you're going to need for an extremely discounted price in order to start killing it right away and, really start making money with your eBay dropshipping business. So I'm going to riddle off who's here right now, and then I'm going to get into the product research of how I go about researching items for my eBay dropshipping business. And I am going to not use Doyen. If you're still here, he already messaged me today and said, please don't do Amazon or Walmart. And I am going to talk about Sears and Lowe's during this live. So there are some tricks with these products with Sears and Lowe's. And I know Success with Sully talks a lot about Lowe's. And I am no way, shape, or form as good or as well-versed as Sully in using Lowe's. But I have used Lowe's in the past, and I've gotten over 30% margin with them, and on a decent amount of items, actually. And Sears, there are some tricks, but you can still make front-end margin, and there's a lot of cash back with Sears. So as we go across about this, please ask questions. And, let me know what your questions are. I'm going to answer every question after I do a 25-minute presentation on how I source items and how I go about finding items extremely quickly. So far, I already named, all right, so we got Doyen's here again. All right, so that was Doyen. Hamza Zil is here. Jameson Griffith is here from Tennessee. Nick F is from New York. Tanya Saunders is here from Virginia. Carl's here. Carl Feldman is on like every live. Thank you very much for showing your support. Matt Parker, he's part of the course. He's here right now. Gary D, what's up, from Orlando, Florida. And Raven Coleman, hey, Tom. Drop Shipping Kings, what's up? How's it going? Andrew, what's up? And Andrew White is here as well. Hi there. J-Rel Stevens from Thornton, Colorado. I actually live in Fort Collins, so we're like 30 minutes apart. Gary D says he kills it with Lowe's. Well, I hope that I don't snipe your store during this actual live, but it could happen. I'm not promising anything. And so isn't Sears going out of business? Sears, I believe, went bankrupt multiple times already, but they did just get bought back out. And from everything I've read, I believe I'm about 97% sure on this. They are going strictly online now. And I believe Toys R Us might be doing the same thing. So instead of running any physical stores, they're keeping the ones alive. I actually have one in like the parking lot behind me because I kind of live in a shopping center. And there is actually still a Sears. They have a bunch of different Sears, like Sears Grand and Sears other things, but they are still alive. I wouldn't say they're alive and thriving, but you can make money drop shipping their items. So that's all that really matters, right? And so what else is there? What does Sears Expert Pro plan consist of? Can you find good products? So there is actually a bunch of different Zik Analytics updates that just came out with like the pricing plans. So I can go over that. They introduced AliExpress product sourcing, and I haven't really gone over that. I don't use AliExpress. And they also introduced like a wholesale directory. And one of those wholesale sites is called Latopia. And I've actually had a call with the guy, the owner of Latopia, about 2 weeks ago, maybe. And they're like a wholesale drop shipping platform in the United States, and they allow you to drop ship. They only drop ship items, and they seem pretty promising. I haven't done too much research into them, but Zik has connected with them in some way, shape, or form. They're brand new updates I haven't brushed up on because they just came out like 2 days ago. So, I mean, there's that. What else is there? Oh, so Andrew Croft asked, can you get tax exempt with Sears or Lowe's? So Sears and Kmart, they're the same company. Supposedly back before October of 2018, you could get tax exempt with them, but everything I've seen so far, you can't. So you need to kind of weigh that in. But I'm sure if there's a will, there's a way. Like I said, I'm not an expert in Sears or Kmart or Lowe's, but I am going to show you a different source. I've made money with both of them, even while being taxed. And Lowe's, you can't get tax exempt unless you use Lowe's for Pros. And Lowe's for Pros does not really offer free shipping on anything. They charge like $75 shipping, which I believe is a deterrent to buying online in a way to get you into the store and use your tax exemption there. Jameson asked if I got some legal mushrooms yet. It is decriminalized in Colorado, and no, I have not. So where else are we? I've noticed Sears has a ton of third-party sellers on their website. So it's very easy to tell with Sears, and I'll go over that as we're going. It says shipped and sold by Sears. You want to be using those items. You don't want to be using the ones that are the third-party marketplace sellers. And Sears has a kind of cool thing where I believe you can integrate your eBay store into Sears, and I think you can sell on Sears as well. So that could be something in the future. Christian's here. How's it going? Do you just adjust your prices based on what the competition is selling of the same product? I'll get into that later. And tax-related question, do you have a foreign Christian, stop asking tax-related questions on this. You're in the course. You can DM me. I don't want to answer specific tax-related questions on lives. But do I have a foreign LLC? No, I'm not talking about that. Is there a program that will let my VA monitor my pricing without giving full access to my eBay account? Yeah, SKUGrid does have virtual assistant-related portals to it. And Doyen says, does Zik Analytics allow one user on the plan or 2 to 3 per plan? So they actually just introduced that whole plan thing. And that, like I said, they just came out with an update like 3 or 4 days ago, or maybe 2 days ago. And basically that they're allowing users now. I've always just given my login and my password to my VAs, and they just log in, and it's always been fine. There's never been an issue. And I believe my roommate also uses the same account. I hope Nahar is not watching this. Yes. But, yeah, so I don't know how the new plan works, but my VAs have been using it the past couple days fine, so I'm not sure. And does Sears and Lowe's limit buying items? So far, I haven't seen anything like that, but I don't use them as my 100% primary source. And like I said, I just wanted to not use Walmart and Amazon. I'm not very well versed in Home Depot, and I don't personally really like them that much, but I have heard good things about it. I personally am focusing highly and heavily on finding other wholesale-esque suppliers for people inside of my course and other students out there that I can really confide a bunch of trust in the future on, because eBay is cracking down on retail arbitrage dropshipping. So Walmart onto eBay works today, but they admitted that they do not want retail arbitrage. So me being the kind guy that I am, I'm trying to go ahead and stay in front of the curve, go find these wholesale type retailers. There's a few weird ones out there I found that are retail stores, but they also are offering wholesale pricing. It's weird. So it's kind of a gray area, like I've said, and I believe we've gotten enough into this. And yeah, I'm gonna go. Well, I'm gonna get into this. So I'll read the last few comments. Yeah, Nahar might be upset. I'm not. I'm sure he's fine. And so Christian says, "Fine, I'll keep more." Yeah, please ask specific private questions, especially related to tax. I mean, I'm not a tax professional, and I'm not going to be answering them on live. Something tells me Nahar doesn't get. No, Nahar's perfectly. He's a great guy. Honestly, he's very nice. All right, so I'm going to get into sharing my screen right now, and you won't be able to see my lovely face while I'm doing this. I know you guys are probably upset, but yeah, that's just the harsh realities of Google Hangouts. So I'm going to share my screen here. And here we go. I'm going to bring it over. So I am sharing my screen. You guys should be able to see exactly what I'm looking at. And right now I am looking at strictly google.com. But I do want to show you guys first off that the number one thing I do when I try to find a new supplier or I try to deal with a supplier is I'm going to attempt to try to find what their private label brands are. So private label brands are brands that only that supplier is going to sell. So everybody, if you drop ship or if you know anything about drop shipping or if you've been in this game for a bit, knows that Walmart's private label brand is Mainstays. So if you see somebody selling Mainstays on eBay or Amazon, then you know that that item is in fact coming from Walmart.com and somebody is in fact drop shipping it. Unless it's like a used item, but let's not get into the specifics here. You know, it's semantics at that point. So basically, how do you go about finding the private label brands? First off, you can go scour their website. But one thing I've noticed that works decently well, and I think this will only work for larger retail suppliers, is actually just looking them up on Wikipedia. So if you want to go and say, hey, I want to drop ship from Lowe's, but you don't know what Lowe's whole private label brands are, it's very easy to find if somebody is drop shipping an item onto eBay or onto Amazon. If you find that supplier specific private label brand being drop shipped onto eBay or Amazon, and then going and source it and picking apart their store with Zik Analytics. So Lowe's, you could spend all day looking through Lowe's and trying to figure out what their private label brands are. You could, I mean, it's kind of easy if you know or if you've been in the game for a while. But if you're brand new and you have no idea about the supplier, you're just like, wow, Lowe's, it's Home Depot's not so great little brother here. But, I've heard people talking about it. Let's find some items. It's going to be hard if you're looking around eBay just going, oh, how do I find Lowe's? How do I find a Lowe's item? What am I going to do? So the number one thing I can suggest is if you type in Lowe's and you just type in Wiki, you're going to go to the Wikipedia page. And this might not be the most interesting read that there ever has been. And I can guarantee you I've never read all of this. But if you start scrolling down, you're going to start to realize that on these Wikipedia pages, they are decently in depth. So I'm going to show you the example for Lowe's. I can show you Home Depot and Sears as well. And if you start going, it says right here, store brand tools. So that means that it's a private label brand strictly for that store. And that store is Lowe's. So it says they sell the generic brand Cobalt hand and power tools and hand tools have a lifetime warranty. So that's all it really says on Lowe's.com. And I know that they do have a couple other brands like Something Breeze, and it's like their fans and their ceiling fans and stuff. But we do find out right away here that Lowe's sells Cobalt. So we'll keep that in our back pocket. We'll keep that in the back of our mind, and we'll go back and we'll just type in here Home Depot just to show you guys Wiki. And we're on the Home Depot Wikipedia. And if you scroll down here, operation online exclusive brands right here, exclusive brands, like there's other ones here that I didn't even know were a thing. ChemDry, I don't even know what that is really. Behr Paints, Home Light Outdoor and Power Tools. But the big one here is Martha Stewart Living. You'll find a lot of those on at least Amazon. I know I've drop shipped those on Amazon before. But then Ryobi and Rigid, they're power tools. And you're going to find a ton of those all over the internet, all over eBay, all over Amazon. So there you go. You found that one. And HDX is their own brand. Husky is another, of their own retailers. It has its own house brand. So that's going to help you find the actual wholesale, or not the wholesale, the private label brand. So we're going to type in Sears Wiki here. This will be the last one we do. So Sears actually had a way longer list than I actually expected. When you scroll down, it says former. It says exclusive brands current and exclusive brands former. So Sears used to be a big powerhouse, probably one of the biggest stores out there, and now it's really pretty much dying. But if you look at the current Sears brands, a lot of these are here, and there's a bunch of what I mean, clothing and stuff. I don't sell clothing just because it has a high return rate. You know, somebody thinks that they're a medium, but in reality, they're a double XL and they're just in denial. They can't fit in their shirt and they ask for a refund or a return. You know, you don't want to be doing as many returns anymore nowadays. You really want to be focusing on trying to minimize returns. So, I mean, you'll go through all of this. And one thing that kind of stuck out to me is Everlast, and that's through a licensed deal, it says. But the cool thing about it is that Everlast will have some sort of possible punching bags and stuff, which you do see on Walmart as well. So that might not be the best example. And it doesn't actually say here. It says in the former, but if you control F, I'll just find it real quick. It's Craftsman. Craftsman used to be the biggest. It used to be home of Sears was home of Craftsman. Now Lowe's is supposedly, but a lot of Craftsman tools will be on eBay and you'll find them on Sears and you'll see people making money with them. So now that we know that, like if you're big into tools or anything home improvement related, you know, Home Depot has Ryobi, Lowe's has Cobalt, and Sears has Craftsman. So how are we going to go and try to find people that are selling these items? It's not going to be the hardest thing out there. I can tell you that right now. So you're just going to go straight over to ebay.com. Let's just start with Lowe's. So I'm going to type in Cobalt, and here we are. And I'll get rid of the Wikipedia page, and you'll scroll through. And first up, this one has bids on it, so it's probably used or something of the sort. This one, you know, this is somebody took this picture in their house. Supposedly, it's pre-owned. I don't want to do that. You can also go over here to condition on the left-hand side and just type new. So that'll get rid of all those. This one's supposedly new. And, you know, I'm going to scroll through, but I did do a little bit of research first just to find some decent items. And there are some tricks with Lowe's where people might look like they're not making money on them, but there are specific coupons you can use and really get the price down a lot. But this is one item that I actually found right here. And sorry if you are this person, but it's for the greater good of the people. Usually what I do is, you know, it looks like a generic photo. So they're a stock photo. So there's a good chance that it is just being drop shipped. You can also scroll down here to similar sponsored items. So say that we know that this item is being drop shipped and this is the 10-piece household tool set, and say that this person is making money on it. So then we can scroll down here. Here's the same one, and here's the same one too, also within about a $1 price range of where this one is. So we can then go pick apart these people's stores afterwards. So once you find that, Gary's getting upset. Sorry, Gary. I said this is for the greater good. But yeah, so once you find that, you're going to just search the title. All you have to do is highlight it, right click, and search. And then once you do that, you're going to realize that it's also on Amazon. So if you're drop shipping on Amazon, here you go. Somebody's selling it for $50, but I'm sure with the coupons and the other tips and tricks, and people get like 10% off discounted gift cards as well through probably, I forget that Card Bazaar is one, but I'm not sure. I've never really used gift cards and I don't like to go that route, but I know a lot of people do. So here I am. But you also do notice it's Amazon, eBay, but also Lowe's. So open it up, make sure it's the same item. It's not the same picture right here, but this is the same picture. So these, we'll get rid of this. These are the same item here. And just to do a quick roundabout mathematics here. So this is $54. And right here, it's at $44. So just based off that, the $10 price difference, I'm going to say there is a profit here. But if you want to do just quick profit calculation, all you have to do is type in the price on eBay and multiply it by 0.88. 0.88 is going to be 12% less than what the item is. That's going to be taking out a rough estimate of what the eBay and PayPal fees are. If you have an eBay store, a basic store, then that's going to be 9.15%. You can just round that up to 10 and then or you can just keep that at 9. And then PayPal is 2.9%. So 2.9 plus 9.15 is basically 12. It's 12.05. So if you just multiply it by 0.88, you're going to get what the price is after your PayPal and eBay fees. Just a rough estimate. I mean, it doesn't have to be spot on, but you know, it gets you in the ballpark. So 47.51. Then we know that we're gonna buy it here for $43.98. So if you minus $43.98. 43.98 Front end margin here is going to be $3.50. Yes, there might be tax, but yes, there's also a lot of ways to get discounts on Lowe's that I'm not going to really go into. So say that you know that you like this item, and I do go into the discounts on Lowe's and stuff inside of my course, but I mean, I do believe that the major aspect of this video is just on product research. So first up, this item sold. Just because of the fact it's made profit doesn't mean that you want to list this item and start selling it. But it also has sold 89 times. And if you click on the 89, then you're going to see that they sold one yesterday, one the day before that, one the day before that, the 1st, the 28th. So today is May 10th. So we're going to go all the way back to April 10th, which would be right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's sold 7 times in the last 30 days. And I know that in the past, I've said 10 times in the last 30 days. But that was when it was Amazon onto eBay, and there was a bunch of different, there was just so many people selling those items. So it was easy to find items that had sold 10 times in the last 30 days. Nowadays, with the manual eBay dropshipping method that I'm teaching, anywhere between, I go as low as 2 sometimes, but 3 times in the last 30 days and above, there's a good chance that it's going to sell, and your account won't be flagged, and it never will get flagged. So you're gonna always be at the top of the search for that item, no matter what your really what your price is. And you'll see that as you start looking around, that there are people that have higher prices but are at the top because the people below them are flagged, whether that's for a Walmart item or an Amazon item or something like that. So it sold 7 times in the last 30 days. I consider that a winner. And right off the bat, with one Google search, sure, I did pre-research this, but yes, all I did was literally go as far as typing in Cobalt, doing exactly what I did, and scroll down to this item, and that's as far as I got. So here we are. What are we going to do with this item? We found a good one. How do we get it onto our own eBay store, or how do we get it into a position where we want to put it on our eBay store, or where we're going to put it on our eBay store? You're going to need some sort of Google Sheet or Excel sheet or something that you like to use, Excel sheet related, and really just make it organized so that you can keep track of it. So this is an Excel sheet that I kind of dumbed down. The one inside of the course that I provide is a lot more in-depth and is going to help you out a hell of a lot more than this one is going to actually do. But this one does keep track of your eBay URL, who you're sniping from, the title, the price, the supplier price, and give you an estimate of a profit here. So Gary D, I'm over here looking. I'm just taking small little looks over at the chat over here, and Gary's over here talking about how he's going to go on a listing spree. That's pretty good. So what is today's date? Today's date is the 10th. But here we go. We got the eBay title. How do we get the eBay title? Literally just highlight it, copy it, Control C. For those of you who don't know the shortcuts on the keyboard, I like to just make sure all of the actual, I'm pretty anal about stuff like this. I like to make sure the fonts are pretty spot on. So here we go. We got 10 piece. Now we need the URL. How do we get that? Just highlight this entire thing, copy it, come over here, paste it in. We got the eBay price. What is the eBay price? It's $53.99. And the eBay shipping. Is there eBay shipping? Some people add shipping. A lot of people don't. So here we go. This one's 0. It's fast and free. So we got 0 here. Supplier URL. So we found the supplier URL. Say we couldn't find it via reverse Google search of the title. How else could we go about finding it? There's multiple other ways. One way you could do is copy this actual description here and search. And here we are. It's here again. We found it once again. And also, this works for if this is like a last-ditch effort, if the title or the description doesn't work. And basically, I like to click, or you can right-click, see if it comes up, but it usually doesn't. Click on the picture, right-click, and then do search Google for image. It works sometimes. It's not 100% accurate, but sometimes you'll find it. eBay, Amazon, and Lowe's and them have pretty bad SEO, so sometimes they're on page 2 or 3. But I'm not seeing it right now. Nothing about Lowe's. So it didn't help us out on this one, but we already found it on the first 2 methods. So here we go. After that, so it's $53.99. So we got the supplier URL. That's up next, I believe. So supplier URL, paste that in. Supplier price, $43.98, 43.98. Shipping, is there a shipping cost? I know for a fact that there isn't. It's going to be free shipping. So once you, I believe once you have an account on Lowe's, it's free shipping for everything. So free shipping, And there we go. Expected profit is going to be about 6% front end. But as I said, there's a bunch of cashback portals. You can go through Giving Assistant, get an extra couple percentage. You can get all these discounted gift cards. And there's ways to get discounted coupons where it's like 10% off if you spend a certain amount of, if you over $25 or things like that. I've used them in the past. I don't currently use Lowe's, but this is, you know, a supplier that is hot and people are talking about it. So I am deciding to talk about it in this video. So I'm going to go through and look at the comments, see if anything has come up since then. So Zane says, where are we? Something tells me, so to go LLC, I'm not talking about LLCs. What worked for me is search the store and private little brands. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. So Zane says, hey, Tom, could you give some examples of a good obscure supplier with good margins? I'm doing it at the moment. I mean, I'm not going to go in and give any of the really in-depth suppliers that are inside of my course because those are for my students and those are for, you know, people that are willing to invest in themselves and really take the next step into finding suppliers. Or you can go out and look through the list of suppliers on SKUGrid. I mean, they're all there. That's where I found mine from. And I am uploading in the next 2 weeks another 5 suppliers to the list inside of the course. So the students that are watching this, stay tuned. And Gary says, oh, you're giving me competition on Lowe's. I have to, oh, Gary, is that your, if this is actually your story, I feel like an ass. Oh, snaps, perfect time to get on that. LA person is a huge Lowe's drop shipper, no cap. I'm selling, oh, so Gary's saying that he's selling that item. Yeah, Gary, I might come across your store, man. I don't know who you are, but I'm sorry. I used Ebates after you mentioned it. So yeah, Ebates is good. There's top cash back. There is, in fact, Giving Assistant. If you guys want to find out the best cashback portal, all you have to do is type in cashbackmonitor.com. And this is going to give you some advice here. Just type in Lowe's, you find Lowe's, and then here we are. It says Giving Assistant is 4%, top cashback is up to 6%. So 6 might be in different categories. So you can click on them and figure it out. It'll bring you right to the Lowe's section. And Be Frugal is up to 6, but then it says 8 with an asterisk next to it. So it's 8% for lawn and garden and seasonal and stuff like that. 6.6% on tools and hardware and 2.66 on other. So that's not standard across the board. And then top cash back says 666. So say it's a lawn and garden item, you'd be better off going through Be Frugal, get an extra 2%. But honestly, it gets down to, is that really worth your time? If you have multiple orders a day and you're going to check every single different cashback website, whether that cashback, or whether that's a good like portal or not to use, it really does get very complicated over time. And if you have your VAs doing this, then they might get confused. So I just like to use Giving Assistant. It's usually pretty standard across the board, and it's just 4% straight cash back for Lowe's. So, I mean, that's what I would use. But if you do want to hunt for the extra cash backs, I mean, you can do so. I just don't want to spend my time doing it. So where did I finish off the sourcing sheet? Yeah, I finished that sourcing sheet. So then all you're going to want to do is take this person's name. And once you take their name, copy it, go into Zik Analytics. And I almost never use any other functions over here on Zik Analytics. So I guess I'll show the dashboard for those of you who don't use Zik Analytics. This is what it looks like when you log in. There's a bunch of little training courses and stuff. And as I said earlier, there is 50% off the pricing plan for the actual for the yearly plan. So if I can find that, oh, it says it right here. Find out more. So yearly plan, if you go, yeah, yearly right here. So it's $13 a month if you pay for the whole year right now for $150. It's usually $300, but it's half off at the moment. And they did just add these wholesale product database and the users and stuff like that. I haven't done too much research into it, so I don't want to, tell you guys stuff that I don't know what I'm actually talking about. So if you look over here on the left-hand side, there's dashboard, product research, competitor, category research, wholesale product search. So that's the new thing. But all I would do is just click on competitor research. This is what I always do. And this is the competitor's name. And we're just going to search it. So as we search it, we'll realize that this person only has 77 active listings. And they did 26,000 in the last 30 days. That's pretty damn good. They've had 42 successful listings. And out of those 77 active, they've sold 281 transactions the last 30 days. 30 days is up here. You can change it to 21, 14, or 7. I'm going to take a sip of water. And while I take this little break, if you guys have not liked this video, you do like this content and you want to see more of it, please like this video and please subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me. The channel's growing a lot faster now, so I appreciate all of your guys' support. And I appreciate you guys sitting here and taking the time out of your day, because I know on the East Coast it is getting a little later in the night, and the people that are out there partying are missing out, because I am giving away some pretty good content here, I believe. So here we are, and we're going to look through. These are all their items in order of how many times they've sold in the last 30 days. Highest is 63. This one's 37, and we go down. So like I said, any item that sold 3 times in the last 30 days or more, I would probably list. The higher, the better, obviously. The higher, the better chance of it selling actually is. So you can go here and say your cutoff is 10. Then 10 right here. It starts with this wire, goes up. They sell a lot of wire here. So it goes all the way up, and you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 items. So this is where I see a lot of beginners kind of get into the minutia, and they're like, oh, well, is this item good? Is this item not good? Should I list it? Should I not list it? In my opinion, and what I teach all of my students and beginners is, when you first start, if you just pick a cutoff point, 5 times the last 30 days, 10 times in the last 30 days, 3 times in the last 30 days. And as long as it's not Vero, then just list the item. Copy the title. I use the same exact title as the person that I'm sniping from, unless there's something terribly wrong with the title. Like if they're lying about the product or they're over exaggerating what it is, then I'll fix it. And if there's not 80 characters, because the max limit is 80 characters, then I'll also, add more characters or more words, more keywords to it, and we'll go about it that way. But stick to a consistent amount of sales in the last 30 days, as long as that item is allowed to be listed on eBay. The reason being is, when people start looking at these items, they're like, oh, well, this one sold 7 and this one sold 7. And I'm not sure. I don't know if I like this item. So you're looking at it. You're like, oh, well, this is kind of a bad picture. Clearly, if it sold 7 times in the 30 days, the picture doesn't matter. There's obviously a need for it or a want for it out there. There's demand. So why not supply some yourself? So as you go through, do not be like, oh, well, I don't know if I should list this one. How do I make this listing better? How do I undercut them? I'm not sure if I can undercut this person. Don't worry about it. Literally just list the item. The worst thing that happens is you list an item, it's up for 30 days, it doesn't sell, and then you just delete it. That's the worst thing that could possibly happen. The best thing that could happen is you could actually start making money with your eBay dropshipping business, which is what we're all here for. So basically, and I just caught something in the chat right here. Kareem says, please mention a good and free title optimizer. Title Builder doesn't work for me. Yeah, I've heard that people are saying Title Builder doesn't work recently. And what I would do is I would go to, there's another one called watchcount.com. And this is going to organize items by the most watchers. So if you type in like Cobalt 10 piece, I'm sure this will actually come up. So if you do that and type in the keyword, show me, then you're going to get, well, there's also a wrench set. So don't pick the keywords from the wrench set, but I'll just type in pliers as well. 10 piece pliers. So now we have, hopefully all these items are being drop shipped from the same people. And now we have all the top selling items of this item out there. So there's a lot of people drop shipping this actually. So what you want to do is, obviously, if you scroll down to the bottom, these are the ones that have 0, 0, 0 watchers, 0 watchers, 0 watchers. Maybe the items, I mean, it doesn't mean that the item's bad or improperly titled, but it just means that it could have been a new listing, anything. Some listings sell, some don't. But what you would like to do is scroll up here, and this one has 254 watchers. This is the homeboy we just sniped it from. But this person actually has it listed higher, and they have 45 watchers. So if we click on this item, now we're going to go here. This looks like it's the same item. It's the same exact item. And they have 41 sold, 54, 54.95. So what I would do is look through these, the actual keywords in these titles, and then just go from there. I mean, that's pretty much the best way to do it. Title Builder is a great software, but people have been saying it's not working. My virtual assistants haven't told me anything, but I also don't keep a very close eye on what they're doing. So I'll have to ask them if that's what they're doing, or if it's not working for them as well. This person's also selling it, $54.95. I mean, if the item's selling for higher, somebody's here, I don't know if it's sold yet. This one hasn't sold, but has 2 watchers. Then, they have it up at a pretty high price compared to everybody else, and they're still getting watchers on it. So, it's a pretty in-demand item, and you can just take it. So I would name this one probably Cobalt 10 piece. I would just steal this guy's title, no lie. As long as it hits 80 characters, I would steal it. If not, I would add a few extra characters or a few different keywords to it. So watch count's definitely the best alternative, I believe. And I'm going to go back to actually looking at the comments here. Dude, it shows you, but shows me logged in at the same time. Yeah, so Jameson, actually, that's one thing that I forgot to talk about. So Jameson, when it says that when you're seeing a different price, Lowe's actually has prices based on location, and mine is based on Fort Collins, Colorado, and I'm going to have a different price than you are. So that's another way to get extra money out of Lowe's. If you change your location, I've seen people changing it all over just to get a better price. Home Depot, I believe, does do the same thing as well. So that's one thing to actually, keep in mind. And what else is there? UPC item database helps as well. I'll watch the rest later. Got a jet. Thanks, Jameson. So it's cool. There's room for us to make. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Gary. Swiggle is here. The Swiggle app. They are a price change application. So go check out Swiggle. Please mention a good free title. I have sold items for higher than other people have. Yeah. So always, it doesn't matter if you can't undercut someone for some way, shape, or form. First off, you need to realize that people are going to undercut the entire system. There's going to be people out there that are happy and okay with selling items at a 0% margin because they're getting discounted gift cards and all sorts of different things like that. If you don't know where to get these gift cards or anything like that, or if you don't want to partake in that, then you don't have to. But you have to realize that if you can't get your item within some semi-close to the ballpark, then it might not be worth it to list it. But you need to be getting tax exempt if you can. But, Lowe's, I don't believe has tax exempt. I'm pretty positive it does not. But there's also a bunch of different coupons and gift cards and all sorts of crazy shit with Lowe's where you're going to get a bunch of money off. But that's why I'm looking into more of these obscure suppliers, because these obscure suppliers out there, wholesalers and stuff, no wholesaler out there has gift cards, really. None of these wholesalers are going to have sketchy people on the internet and these Facebook groups selling 10% off gift cards or these discounted gift cards or anything like that. So if this supplier ever becomes popular, it's going to be easier for you to become on a level playing field with everybody else, because you're not going to have people scheming the system at 0% margin, only relying on cash back and other things like that. No business, and I personally 100% believe in this, no business should be run on sketchy cashback gift cards or just on the back end. If you're selling your items at a 0% margin and trying to make money on the back end, first off, you better have a good bookkeeping setup, because there's probably a good chance that you're messing up and you're actually losing money in the long run on some things. And also, it's just not sustainable. If you're trying to build a business off trying to sell Walmart items with 10% off gift cards, and then all of a sudden, wow, eBay stops Walmart and these gift cards dry up, then what do you have? You have a bunch of items that are priced at a loss or at nothing, and you're not making that much money. I always personally am looking to expand my business and make it as sustainable and long-term as possible in order to make sure that my business isn't just a one-hit wonder and that it's not just going to die out in the next month or two. I want it to be able to last for years and years and years, and build relationships with suppliers eventually that are willing to, give me discounts because I have a relationship with them, not because I'm scheming their system and their gift card system, or asking Home Depot for 10% off because the item was supposedly broken even though it's not, and other things like that. So after that rant, I'm going to look at a few other things. Thank you very much, Cream, for the $1 super chat, I believe it's called. I appreciate it. And do you cut underperforming listings after 30 days? So after 30 days, yes, I will cut out underperforming listings. And what I consider an underperforming listing would be an item that doesn't have a sale or a watcher, because sometimes an item will sell without a watcher. Sometimes if there's a watcher, then it means that there's a prospective buyer. So why not keep it going? But if it's at 60 days and it only has one watcher and a few views and it hasn't sold, I'd probably cut it. It's all kind of a matter of what your actual, it comes down to you actually making the decision, the executive decision in your business. There are some guidelines to follow, but guidelines, are guidelines. They're not strict rules. And I've literally found the same store on eBay yesterday. There you go, Jameson. We're looking at the same people. And Tom, hold on. If you use SKU they use the location in Brooklyn. That is one thing as well. So SKU will reprice against the New York, Brooklyn. I believe it's New York City or some. I don't know where Brooklyn really is. I'm guessing it's in New York City. They'll use that as the price to reprice off of, but then you can either go in and manually adjust it if you wanted to, or you can shop around on your store and buy it for cheaper. It doesn't mean that you're repricing it against the Brooklyn price, but you can go find it somewhere else, Gary. So that's one thing. And how do you think a beginner need to start eBay dropship in eBay business? Watch my videos, Adama, and you'll probably be successful. If you're not running your business, if you're running your business on sketchy discount and gift cards, you're not in it for the long run. Exactly. That's what Jason said. And Jason is my business partner. Thank you very much for backing me up. Hey, Tom, do you believe sell-through ratio is a metric that can boost sales? I do believe that sell-through rate is actually a thing that will help you out with your sales. I don't think it's the biggest thing to worry about. I think putting out good listings and making sure that you're diversifying yourself from your competition, whether that be via the title, even though I said I do copy the same exact title, whether it's the images, whether it's the description, whether it's bundling your items, whether it's doing something, finding a different obscure supplier, just finding a different way, shape, or form to get a competitive edge that isn't, scheming the suppliers as in discounting gift cards and other things like that. I'm a big fan of bundling and other things like that nowadays, and I really want to start pushing that inside of my course to my members because I do think that that's huge, and our student Joseph Cox is actually killing it doing so. So let's get into it. I've literally only sourced one item. So let's get into it. I'm going to set the cutoff point here at 10 just because of the fact that they have a ton of items. So we can go through and, click on their item here. And after that, all you have to do is on Zik Analytics, just click it and you're good. You'll move into the eBay. And then all you have to do is right click, search. And then once you search, we found it on, no, it's on Zorro. It's definitely it's on Lowe's somewhere. It has to be. And if it's not on Lowe's, then I have no idea. You can also click shopping up here and then click right here and try to find the best price. I mean, it says from Tools Chest is $89.61. They're selling it for $99. You could actually probably get it from this website for cheaper. But I mean, I'm not going to put too much effort into finding it. Although, I'm just going to prove that we can find it if it doesn't first show up. So first thing I would do is type in Lowe's right here if you believe that they're selling it from Lowe's because it seems like they only sell from Lowe's. And Lowe's, clamps, vices, and other things like that. So you can go through, right here. Is this it? Yeah, so here's the item. We found it. We're a little worried for a second, but we found it. So we got the item. It's the 5-inch heavy-duty steel. And sometimes you'll realize that items might have different pictures. And one thing you have to realize is that suppliers change pictures all the time. So, it might just be an old picture, an old listing from a different picture. So here we go. This one's $85 and they're selling it for $100. So we do 99.89 times 0.88, and that's to get rid of the eBay and PayPal fees to see what you have after fees. You're at $87.90, and here we are. They're selling it for $84.98 minus 84.98, and that's $3 front end. Tax will probably eat that up to nothing. But as I said, there are Lowe's coupons that you can buy. I'm not going to show it on this live, but if you just type in Lowe's discount coupons and stuff, you'll be able to find them pretty easily. And you will get, if the item's like anywhere between $50 to $100, you get like $20 off or $10 off. So that's going to make up your margin. And then there's other ways that people are making up the cash here. Like I said, it's not the most honest way to run a business. But if you are bootstrapping the beginning, if you're just trying to build your business up, although I did just go on a tangent saying not to do so, but I mean, if you're in dire situations, then, by all means, if you believe that it is ethically right to do so, then do so. But don't spend your entire time just getting stuck in it and not trying to build and diversify your business in any other direction. So here we are. We found another item. I mean, it sold 10 times in the last 30 days, or 15 actually. We'll see how accurate Zik Analytics is here by clicking on it and actually counting. So 30 days ago was April right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's 16. Zik was off by 1, but it doesn't update every single day. So that is pretty on point for me. So what else is there? The Brooklyn store is having some sales that none is having at this moment. I'm selling a few items. All right. So Gary's definitely really into the Lowe's game, way more than I am. So let's go out and find items that aren't from Lowe's. So basically, you found this supplier, you found this person that's selling Lowe's items. They're killing it. They're doing pretty damn well. If you want to go find somebody else, obviously you can just go through and look through other people that are also selling these items. There's some up here. There's literally this person, which I believe is the same item. So we can open this in a new tab, and this is the same item right here. We can scroll down, see if there's nothing else suggested. This looks like it is the same exact item. It's somebody else. So then you can just go take this person. I hope this isn't you, Gary. And then we'll copy this, add it in right here, paste. Oh, I pasted both the names together. Paste, and here we go. They they're doing just as well. 63 items, 26,000 in sales in the last 30 days, and they are selling a bunch of other stuff. This is definitely from Lowe's because it's the same person. This is 100% from Walmart. I can tell you because I've sold it a bunch of times on different platforms. So they're kind of diversifying themselves, but it looks like it's a lot of Lowe's. This actually might also be on Lowe's as well. Harbor Breeze is the other Lowe's brand, and I believe that this is probably from Walmart as well. So they're killing it. They're definitely going manual, and I mean, you really can't go wrong with a store that has 63 listings and is doing this. These are the people that are staying quiet in the Facebook groups, if they're even in the Facebook groups, and they're over there absolutely killing it. And you know, I mean, they're the ones that you need to go try to snipe their items and ask questions from. They're not going to be the ones in the Facebook groups that are answering questions. They're over there just busy killing it. So here we go. I mean, we found Lowe's items. So that's one thing. Snipe through that person's selling list. You know, if you want 10 as your cutoff point, then start right here. And you got yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different items to list. So far, the other person, I believe, had 10 or 15 items. We found almost 30 or over 30 items so far in literally the first 40 minutes to list. I mean, it's going to take a lot more time to list them and actually, you know, put them all into your sheet. But that's what virtual assistants are for, and that's what doing this on your own time is for. So, I mean, I'm just going to quickly go through Sears. And as we said earlier, Sears, we found Craftsman. I'm just going to type in Craftsman tools. And there's some sketchy things that also go on with Sears, kind of with the gift cards and other things like that you guys can find on your own. And this person right here is a decently prime example of it. So this item is clearly from Sears because I've researched it beforehand. They've sold 2,070 of these. That's wild. So if you highlight this, search in Google, you're going to find it right here on Sears for $119.99. And there might be a way to get tax exempt on Sears. I'm not certain at the moment, but this is the price times 0.88. And you're going to realize that they are priced at, what is it, $9? So they're priced at around $9 lower than what Sears actually is selling it for. But if you look right here, it literally says spend $60+ and get $60 cash back in 6 installments. And it says get $62.20 in cash back points. So that's pretty wild. So Sears also gives you 1% cash back just for buying on their website. That's where the $2.20 is coming from, because it's 1% of $220. They also have fairly high cash back through, if we go to Cashback Monitor and we type in Sears, you're going to realize that they have 6% cash back, and that's through Giving Assistant, which I love to use. So I would use that. And you're getting the $60 over 6 installments. I'm not sure how that really works. I've gotten it before, but it is obviously the same item. And from here, I mean, they edited the items pictures, I believe, a little bit, and that's about it. They added a little watermark over it so nobody else steals it. And that's basically all they did. They took the 2-3 pictures that they have, added it in, gave it the Craftsman logo and the 450 piece in big bold red lettering and the lifetime warranty, and they called it a day. So there's other people selling it. This person's selling it with a weird price and shipping. And there's other weird things going on here. This person sold 163 at $250. So we do 250 times 0.88 equals 220. So they're actually selling it for basically a break even, and then they're going to utilize all the different cashbacks and other things like that. Sears might have discounted gift cards. I'm not positive. I haven't really gone into it. I've used Sears before with just straight up front end margin, and I've made sales. I've had an item that sold over 30 times in literally 2 months. So there are items to be found out there. So let's go to this person's store. I forgot to do that. And all we do is copy it into Zik Analytics. We've already found 30 potential items. Copy it into Zik Analytics. And here we go. They have 30 items as well, and they're doing 20,000 in sales as well. So if you guys are out there saying, oh, I have 300 items on my store and I can't make a sale, you're doing something wrong. You're either you don't know the tricks to the trade, or you're just finding absolutely awful items. So if 10 is your cutoff point, then we got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items here. We're up to almost 40 items that we found that are over 10 sales in the last 30 days. If you listed those 4 items at a decently competitive price, 40 items, I can guarantee you will make a sale. There's no doubt about it. You just need to get get up, take action, and really just start making sales. It's listing is probably people's biggest issue, or finding items. And I believe the finding items part isn't that hard. It's just the actually listing the items part is what a lot of people, struggle with. And if you do realize, this is the upload date. This is the date that this item was listed actually onto eBay. This one was in 2013, and they sold 2 in the last 30 days. 2013. This is literally the definition of a passive income business at this point if you have virtual assistants running it. 2014. Imagine listing an item in 2014 and it's still selling two times this month, like since then. That's wild. 150 times once in the last 30 days. 2013, 2013, 2017, 2016. This person literally listed 30 items up, called it a day literally 5 years ago, and was like, all right, that's it, and then packed it up and has listed a few items since. That's completely wild, and that's really the power of the Manual Ebay Dropshipping Store. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to open up the floor to questions. I didn't realize we've already gone for 50 minutes. So yeah, so now you guys are back to seeing my face. And are there any last minute questions here? I hope you guys enjoyed this, but I mean, please ask some questions. I know that there were some people here selling at the no front end margin, but that was just the easiest ones to find. Once you start looking through here, you're going to realize that there's people selling at front end margins. I was selling at front end margins. I was never utilizing these Sears different coupons and different things like that. I really don't know how it works, but if you guys want to take the time and learn how it works, I did provide you guys 2 different sources that aren't Walmart and Amazon. So I hope that at least makes you happy. So if you got, I just said my Siri is talking to me over there. So I'm going to go through and read some of the last questions here and really address the questions. There are 54 people watching. So if you did enjoy this, if you did enjoy me bringing you guys different topics and different actual suppliers, I don't think anybody else out there is really talking about it besides Sully. Please toss me a like. I would really much appreciate it. And we'll get this video out to more people. So, props to those who are killing. So there are people killing it with Lowe's, Andrew. Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea. I know that there's people out there that want to do this form of business and the low front end margins. So I'm going to show the people how it's done. But I myself am going to start, really focusing and strapping down for the future and what that holds with the wholesale suppliers and other things like that. And I'm going to try to provide the best and updated information to my students as we go forward, because they are the people that, I owe success to. You guys have paid me money and I owe you guys success. And that's really who I'm here finding all these suppliers for, and myself. I mean, I love finding suppliers and just finding suppliers that only like 2 or 3 people are using and sniping their items. So Matt Parker says getting tax exempt is the key for front end in most places. Yes, you need to be getting tax exempt. And even if it doesn't say tax exemption on their actual website, or you can't find it, or no guru on the internet has talked about it, pick up your phone and call them. And if you call them, there's a good chance that they'll tell you that they have one. And that's really one of the things that I've seen a lot of people don't want to do is actually call people. And it's the easiest way to get business done in today's day and age as well. And there's also the support chat, so you can go and do that. But never have I had as much information downloaded into my brain about a source as quickly as when I just called somebody and said, can you get tax exempt? Can you do this? Do you allow resellers? Do you allow me to do this? Am I going to get a special discount if I sign up for your wholesale program or anything like this? All of a sudden you have everything you need within about 2 minutes and you're good. You vetted out that supplier. Is it good? Is it not good? Add it to the list or cut it. It's as simple as that. If you make 10 calls a day, which I've done that like multiple times, but not every day. If you make, say, 5 calls a day for a week, you're going to have a potential 35 suppliers that you just vetted out with minimal effort. So it really is the way. Going the extra mile is the way to succeed in anything in life, especially with eBay dropshipping and anything in business. So that's all I can say to that. 2 lows in price, front end margin. Good luck. Thanks for the info, Tom. Thank you very much, Jameson. Andrew, tax exempt on Home Depot is gold. It's the best feeling when you put in the tax. Yeah, that is very true. When you put in that little tax number that they give you on Home Depot and it drops, that's awesome. And Matt was on the phone all day. Matt, you're taking action. You're also inside of the course. So, I hope that I taught you to take the action and do that. And I appreciate it. So, any last questions here? I hope you guys enjoyed this. And like I did say, so Zik Analytics, the main reason why I did this is I want to help you guys succeed. And Zik Analytics is the best program out there to do so. We just found 40 potential items to list and sell within the amount of time it took for me to do this live. So it is half off until Monday. I believe that's when it runs out. On May 13th, I believe that's Monday. It's half off for the yearly plan. I never suggest buying yearly plans to anything, but I've always bought a yearly plan to Zik because I don't see it going bad anytime soon. The reason why I don't buy the yearly plan to an eBay store is, what if I want to go up from a basic to a premium store and I locked into a yearly plan? You have to pay yourself out of it. Or if you want to cancel the store, if you don't want to use it anymore, or if you get banned, you know, you're going to lose that money. They're going to take it. They're not giving it back to you. So I mean, that's why I don't like yearly plans usually, but Zik Analytics, I've always bought the yearly plan twice so far, and I've never had an issue with it. It hasn't changed being the #1 tool, and I don't foresee it doing so in the future. So I have a question. Why does everybody try to get tax exempt? Don't you have to pay the tax you collect to the appropriate state? If so, all right, so this is basic mathematics here. If you get tax exempt and you don't pay tax, then therefore you didn't pay tax. If you collect the tax and then you remit it to the state, but you still didn't pay tax, then there's the break even there. There's nothing. You didn't pay tax. I mean, you did do the extra effort of collecting it and remitting it to the state, but collecting and then remitting, you collected it, then you gave it back, that's zero. And then you paid no tax, that's zero. But if you paid tax and then you didn't collect and remit, you still paid tax. And if you paid tax and then you collected and remitted, you still paid tax. So either way, getting tax exempt is definitely 100% advantageous, and you're going to save up to 10% because of California that has, or no, it's one of them, Arkansas, or one of them has extremely high tax, and a lot of them have high tax. If you don't pay tax and you collect and remit, then you're fine. If you don't pay tax and you don't collect and remit, you still didn't pay tax. But if you paid tax, either way, you still paid tax. That's basic math, and I mean, that I can't get much simpler than that. So where else are we? Missed the part, was listing on another tab. Why are you calling suppliers? That calling suppliers is to go find other suppliers out there, and it's a lot easier. If you want to go find an obscure supplier that isn't the Lowe's or the Sears or the Home Depot or the Walmart. I mean, technically, if you think about the definition of a supplier, they are not a supplier. They are a retail store. This is retail arbitrage, yes. So you can't call it a supplier. But technically, they're a retail store. If you want to find a real supplier or somebody that's okay with you reselling their items, you're going to have their websites are usually going to be a lot worse, and you're going to have to pick up the phone and call. What else is there? Do you use the product research in Zik? I almost never use product research. You can. It's really not helpful. I mean, it is. It depends on how you like to research. I showed how I like to research with the competitor research. That's what my virtual assistants do. That's exactly what they do. Great course by eCom, Tom. Highly recommend. Thank you very much, Matt. I appreciate it. Did you use Zik to find those suppliers? Okay, never mind. And I only pay sales tax in Florida if I collect tax. I mean, I'm tax exempt in almost every state now, but I have like 33, 34 different resale certificates. So that's it. Where else are we? California, Louisiana. Yeah, California, Louisiana are extremely high. Cali's high. I believe Arkansas has some extremely high ones in specific different little counties as well. You can only collect taxes in states that you're registered in. You can't just collect from a buyer in any state without being registered in that state. Thank you, Daniel. I didn't really want to get into the actual tax law about it, but yes, that is very true. I have 33 different resale certificates I collect and remit in like 30 something states. Is this video going to be available for replay? Yes, it's on YouTube. It's alive. It gets replayed. Any plans on doing any AliExpress in the future? I don't plan on doing AliExpress for, I don't know, maybe ever, but if not, for a good long time. I don't see the need, because it just adds extra complexity to the system. If you can get US based suppliers and you can make good margins, then why worry about your item coming 2 weeks from China or 8 days if it's e-packet extremely fast? I mean, I don't really want to deal with it. I know that the advantage of doing it is that you can ship it anywhere in the world. I don't know. I like to minimize as much issues in my life as possible, and that just sounds like I'm adding extra issues to my life when I do that. I like to stay within the United States. I don't even sell through the global shipping program. It's just too much of a hassle, and I don't want to deal with it. Does Zik have a free trial? Yes, actually, Gary. So if you sign up through my link, there's actually you'll get $5 off the already half price, and there's a 7-day free trial attached with it. So it says it right in the description right there as well. So follow that link if you want, Gary. I mean, you seem to be knowing what you're doing, but if you want extra help with Zik Analytics, it really, I mean, you can do all of this manually. Everything that I just showed you can do manually, but I like to, you know, I'm a time saver. I'm a convenience guy. I don't like to deal with issues, like I said, and me manually researching items just doesn't sound very advantageous. And I would rather just sit there and use Zik and then teach it to my VAs, give them a threshold 5 and above in the last 30 days, 3 and above in the last 30 days, and then only list those items. I mean, that's the way that I've always had success with it. And the number one key to this, besides everything I just taught, is outsourcing. You need to be outsourcing. So, I mean, virtual assistants are the key to any business. You cannot be working in your business 24/7 and expect to grow. It's not going to work. Hi, tell me what program you use now to work with dropshipping. I mean, the API, how to work. Don't ignore my question, please. I have no idea how to pronounce that. It looks like it's in Russian, what your name is. I'm using SKU right now to reprice my items, and I have a bunch of videos on that as well. How do you think people are selling stickers on eBay for 12 cents? I have no idea. I don't look at stickers on eBay. I try to stick to higher priced items above $100. I've been researching products by hand, which is time consuming. Yes. So, hi, what's the screen recording software to get the Christian? You just always ask questions that have nothing to do with the actual topic. I appreciate you being here, though. The screen recording software to get the red cursor, it's that's Zoom. I use Zoom for that. Also, if you see the red cursor on PowerPoint, there's a little cursor thing on PowerPoint to actually do that when you're doing a presentation. And where else is there? He says, thanks. Matt Parker says, I agree with Tom. Competitor research is the most useful feature of Zik. It's very true. I mean, it's definitely so easy, and there's no point in actually trying to do anything else. I mean, we're here to snipe items. I have practiced a bit of just listing my own items. It works. It's not going to be the best. You're not going to have as high a success rate. If you list items that are sniped 10 and above in the last 30 days from somebody, you probably have a 35 to 40% chance that an item will sell. If you're listing random items all willy-nilly like out there from a supplier just because you think they're good, I'd say that chance of selling goes down to like 10. And I mean, I'd rather have the higher percent chance of selling an item. It's all a game of percentages, and you want as many percentages on your side as possible. Where else are we? Taxes are separate from yours. Okay, we're getting into a tax conversation here. Snagit is a good screen capture software, not free. Thanks, Tom. So many gems in this live. I appreciate it, Kareem. So like I said, this live, I believe, was pretty productive. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We have 60 people watching at one point. I don't know how many it actually got up to because 62 at the moment. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You guys are making yourself better on Friday night because you're not out there partying and you're not wasting your time. You're out here trying to better your life and achieve financial freedom. And that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see out of all of you guys. So if you guys wouldn't mind, please subscribing to my channel and liking the video one last time. I mean, if you're sitting there lurking, then you're not going to get the updates when I'm actually going live. If you subscribe, then hit the little bell notification button. You will actually get a notification. If you just subscribe, you most likely won't get a notification because of the way YouTube works. And also, just to reiterate one last time, Zik Analytics is 50% off for the yearly plan, which will be $150 altogether for the basic plan, which is a steal right now until Monday. And also, we decided to run a promotion because there were some mishaps with our website and decided to extend it to pair perfectly with your Zik Analytics 1-year subscription trial. So if you check in the description as well, there is a link to my actual full eBay manual dropshipping course that has 67 videos, over 12 hours of content. There's a code that you use to check off $200 off. You'll get $200 off the course, and it'll be, instead of $497, it'll be $297. This deal is ending tonight. So if you want to, please take action now, and you will have the course sent to you immediately once you buy it. It's going to close up after that. We have noticed that the amount of people that buy when it's $297 is great, but the quality of the student, we've already had a couple refunds so far. It's the less dedicated student, and we want to really get the most dedicated students up at the higher price point. So we are going to raise it back up after this. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys for coming out. I'll look at the comments one last time. Thanks, Tom. Great info. Everyone on Lowe's is easy to make money if you do it right. Yeah, that's very true. Planning to get the standard plan. Is Zik a lot better than Terapeak? I'm not answering it. Go buy Tom. Thank you, Doy. And yeah, I've heard Terapeak's awful. So that is it. I am out. Thank you guys very much. And now you guys can go out and party on Friday night. Have a good one. See you later. Thank you guys.